But yeah, but hey, talking about whipping it out.
Let's start on that. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Board Game Gateway podcast. My name is Neeber, and this is Damien. He's my co-host for this evening. We are your entryway into the world of board gaming, tabletop gaming, and whipping it out. Apparently, on tonight's one, we are in for a one-on-one spectacular. First to 21, loser takes the rock. Must finish on a 2-point shot. That's how we're doing it tonight. Apparently. I don't know if that's actually the case. I'm talking about basketball, if you couldn't pick up on that reference.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was like no pants Thursday or something. That's what we went on
Well,
about.
it could be. You never know. On tonight's podcast, we are going to be having a chat about a couple of different games. We're going to be having a chat about... I've been playing the game called Lucky Numbers, a very quick and easy sort of number game. Damien is going to take us through the game called Chicken, which he got to play at South by Southwest Sydney. We're also having a chat about that. And our gateway game of the week is here on the table in front of us. It is Jaipur, a classic two-player game. Mate, I'm looking forward to this. I always enjoy just having the one-on chats with you. It's going to be good fun. But look, I want to start tonight's podcast by talking about South by Southwest Sydney. You and our other co-host Ralph ended up going to different events at the, I believe, different kind of things, or the same event, but like different areas of South by Southwest Sydney. Look, for those people who don't know what it is, explain what it is, why it's in Sydney, and what you guys got up to that was board game related at the event.
So, first of all, shout out to our friends over at Board Game Barbecue. They were nice enough to get us a couple of tickets to South by Southwest. Specifically, we were given access to the gaming section. But South by Southwest was originally something that was only in Dallas, Texas.
Wasn't it like a movie festival or something like that?
No, it was an everything. So it's an entertainment festival.
Right, just an entertainment festival.
Where they talk about everything from film media, music, and then eventually video games came in, and they have massive video game tournaments during it, and so on and so forth. A smaller version of that came to Sydney this year, even though it still encompassed most of Ultimo and a big chunk of Darling Harbour. It still is small by what South by Southwest is.
Like up in the
Dallas.
powerhouse area around there?
Not quite as far. So it was UTS.
Right, yeah.
And sort of it went alongside the ABC building and then across the road to Fortress.
Yeah, yep.
And then back the other way, it went all the way through
pretty much
Tumbalong Park.
Yeah.
And sort of the...
Sydney references for all of you non-Sydney
yes.
siders, if you're listening to this.
But essentially, it spanned quite a large area, mostly because our entertainment centre, it's called the ICC building, I think it's called.
Yeah,
now.
the old entertainment centre.
The old entertainment centre. There were sessions there, so non-gaming related sessions there. On the weekend, there were sessions at the Mercure Hotel. I didn't get to go to those.
When you say gaming sessions, what do you mean by like a session?
They had organised teachers. I think there were demos happening as
just
well.
like board games and stuff.
Board games related
Love
stuff.
That.
But throughout the entire week, I was there. I was there on Thursday. But starting from, I believe, Wednesday night, but certainly on Thursday, the Fortress had games going on. So the Fortress is a sort of tabletop gaming, RPG gaming, and video gaming center where there's a bar, there's multiple rooms. It's basically
a LAN center on steroids, but not just a LAN center.
Pretty much, yeah. Look,
they also have like an esports hall, don't they?
Yes.
As well?
So Ralph and I actually got to see that.
We
got to see Blood on the Clock Tower event. So we got to see a live game.
Love that.
Of Blood on the Clock Tower, which was fun. But yeah, Fortress is great. First time I'd been there. Anyone in Sydney who is just looking for an interesting afternoon out, an opportunity to play some board games or maybe play a couple RPG games with people who are around, get a feed as well. Fortress is great. Go check it out. But while we were there, the Board Game Barbecue folks were just running a couple tables of games. It was fairly informal. It was really, really great. It was just come in, sit down, grab a drink, play some games. And then later on the evening, they had a pub trivia night, which they hosted, which had a fantastic turnout, which was amazing. Ralph and our team, the team that Ralph and I on, we came third. we got to do, which was we got to do one thing, which was the highlight for me for the evening, and I won't bury the lead here. We were given a copy of Catan as our prize for coming third, and there was one guy in the group who didn't own a copy and always wanted to play it, and we just turned around, here, it's yours. So the look on his face was absolutely priceless. So we just handed him his game. So that was the best thing of the day. But game related wise, got to play a ton of games. Got to play Bristol 1350.
Yep.
Lost over the line. Turns out I was in an infected cart, even though I wasn't infected myself.
Silly boy.
Silly boy. We were doing so well too. So well. Got to play Skull, which is always fun because you're at a pub, you have to play Skull.
Love that.
But the highlight, the true game, which the true highlight of the day for me in terms of gaming, has to be a game called Chicken.
Okay, now is this a board game we're talking about right now, or is this just a game where you say it's like another of Dare?
So I asked the same question. I said, so do I go to the other end of the pub? We just start running at each other, and the person step sideways the chicken. I asked that question. No. So what Chicken is it's a larger group game. I believe we had 6 people, and I think it could even go higher. Rather, I don't see a reason why it couldn't go higher. And your goal is to get to, I believe, 30 points, maybe 25. Look, this game is currently in pre-order, so it was kickstarted, and the person who we were playing with had literally just received it. Okay.
Love that.
So
fresh off the boat.
It was literally fresh off the boat, so I apologize if some of the details are a little vague, but the game is really, really simple. Your goal of the game is to get to the finish line. Nice and easy. How are you doing that? You are literally just rolling dice.
Right. You
start off, you roll 4 dice.
Yep.
These are 4 white dice. They have 4 different sides.
Yep.
They will either have a chicken,
yep,
a fox, a blank side, or an egg.
Chicken, fox, egg, or blank.
Blank,
okay.
Yeah. If you roll a chicken and you stay and you say, yep, my turn is done, however many chickens you have in front of you, you go up the track that many points.
Love it. So it's a push your luck, got a push your luck element.
That's
Love
all
this.
it is.
Okay, yeah.
If you roll an egg, that means you hatch a new die. So you take a die from the middle,
right,
and you got to roll that too.
Yep.
If you roll a blank side, you get to re-roll that. Nothing happens. Okay. Finally, if you roll a fox, you cannot re-roll a fox. If you roll 3 foxes on your turn, you bust.
Yep.
Okay, and that's it. And any chickens you've banked,
3 rolls, like as in 3 foxes just in total.
Yes. Okay. There is no limit to how many times you can re-roll. You can choose to re-roll as many times as you like. The only thing you can't re-roll are foxes. Okay. If you roll an egg, you have no choice, but you have to take more dice from the middle for every egg that you roll.
Well, I don't know why I wouldn't want to take more dice. Absolutely, please.
Here we go. This is the thing. Because it is a race to the finish line, you're inclined to want to take more dice, and you're inclined to want to roll eggs.
Yep.
However, you don't get to choose how many of those dice you roll. If you say, I am re-rolling, you have to re-roll every available dice that isn't locked.
Right,
okay?
So even a chicken, you have to re-roll.
Well, no. If you say, no, I'm going to lock the chicken, you can lock it, okay? But you can't say, I'm not going to do anything with those eggs, okay? They do absolutely hatch. And if you say, well, I want to re-roll, they're going to say, well, you're going to have to roll those dice that you just received.
So you can either pass out with whatever chickens you have in front of you, or if you have eggs, you have to.
That's right.
Okay,
that's right.
I'm with you.
So, assuming you haven't rolled 3 foxes, you get to take whatever chickens you've rolled. Now, the dice that you have in the middle, they come in 2 flavors. You have yellow dice, and they are similar to the white dice in terms of probability.
Yep.
Or you have orange dice.
There we go. How do they have more foxes?
They have more foxes and more chickens on it. So instead of having single faces for chickens, they have double chickens on their face and double foxes.
Yeah, okay.
Here's the best part of this game, and I stitched Ralph up so many times because he was sitting to my left.
When you say no balls?
Whoa. So I'm pretty sure this happened 3 times in a row.
Right.
Where I basically had every single die available to me. I would roll them and still did not roll 3 foxes. And then I went, yeah, I'm going to bank all that, and then just literally passed all the dice to the next player.
You pass them,
That's right,
so
because the dice
there it
do
is.
not reset every turn.
That's the rub.
Whatever you're up to, you pass them all, and they have no choice but to roll
what's in
all
front
the
of-
dice. The only way they can force a restart is if they say, "I'm going to lose a point, and I'm just going to reset back to the 4 dice."
Oh god.
It crippled Ralph. It really did. The game is dead simple. It is King of Tokyo simple.
Yeah. Roll dice.
Dice,
Win a race.
win a race, and then just egg people line and go, roll again. Come on, you can do it. God, off you go.
It's only 4 dice.
It's only 4 dice. Go. Oh, look, it's only a couple more. You'll be fine. Oh, you got 3 foxes. Oh.
I mean, I wouldn't have rolled that one. Well, why would you? I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have rolled that one.
It was great. Like the game whipped around really quickly. Like I said, we had it. It was either 6 or 7 people we had sitting at the table.
Mm-hmm.
The downtime was minimal. Ton of laughs were had, and all we did was roll dice and move a token up a track.
Sounds like a perfect game to play at Fortress.
It really was. It's a brilliant pub game.
Love that. Because it comes in like one of those like a circular cylindrical containers and like with like a pop lid or something. Like it's like something that you could literally put in a bag. Really, it's like it looks like almost like a water bottle without the spout.
Basically, yeah. Look, it's one of those games that I think is definitely the sort of game that should be in our purview, and it should be in our listeners' purview as well, because it is relatively cheap. I think it's currently pre-ordering for like $25 or $27 at Good Games.
Okay.
And I mentioned Good Games because I checked it on their website earlier today because I may have pre-ordered it.
BoardGameOracle.com.
Yes. The rules overhead, we literally learnt the game in 2 minutes.
Yep.
In fact, I've probably just confused people by saying too much about the game now.
This is a game that you can literally say roll a dice, and I'll explain it to you. I'll explain what you've got when you
pretty much
after your first roll.
And the end game is simple. Get to that line. Get your token up to that line, and then fourth and most importantly, one of the symbols on one of the tokens is quite literally the poo symbol, winning straight away. So you can actually be the poo. Icon, if you like. It's one of the characters. Go to town. Chicken was brilliant. You can absolutely put it in front of kids. They would totally get it.
Yep.
You can put it in front of parents, grandparents, what have you. It is a banger. I loved it.
Fantastic.
Chicken.
Well, hopefully I look forward to playing it when it comes out. I know this is one of those games that would be very easy to find because I know it's very colourful, and I know it's look, if it's only $20, they'll be probably
it's
perfect.
like it's $20 to $30. Look, it is currently available on pre-order. It is fulfilling, so you may even find it on the like within the marketplace and such. But it's the sort of game that I loved it. I really would love to get my hands on a copy sooner rather than later.
Perfect. Right. Well, we're going to move from chicken and in South by Southwest. I'm going to have a chat about a game that I've been playing recently called Lucky Numbers. This is it's not a push your luck game, but it's a very simple numbers game. So the way that this game works is each player gets given a 4x4 grid, and you have 16 spaces on that grid. The goal of the game is to fill your board completely with clovers. Each of these clovers have a number on them from 1 to 20. Very simple. You start with 4 numbers in a diagonal pattern on your board. Okay. The way that it works and how you fill it, on your turn, you're going to be the top clover or a clover from a pile, a bag essentially, and it'll have a number. You can only place the clover on the board, in a specific order. The lowest number must go into either the top left corner to the biggest number in the bottom right hand corner. So I must go from lowest to biggest from the left to the right, but I also must go from the lowest to the biggest from the top to the bottom. So I need to be able to put a clover. So let's say, for example, I had 1, 5, 10, and 20, right, across my board. If I pulled the number 3, I could put it next to my 1 at the top and above my 5, because still going smallest to biggest across, but I'm also going smallest to biggest from top to bottom. However, I could also probably pull, like let's say for example, I pulled a 19 and I have no spot for it. I would then have to I've got two options. I can either remove a clover from my board and replace it with the 19, or I can put this clover into the bank. And now everyone from that point has access to that one right at this moment.
Gotcha.
It is a super simple game. There is no real skill. It's a very luck-based game, but I'm actually kind of enjoying it at the moment. I've been playing a little bit on BGA, boardgamearena.com, and I've been playing it as part of a little tournament because I've been searching for very simple, fun games that you can buy. You can actually buy this at the moment. It came out, I believe, 2 years ago. And it's only like $25. Again, It's a very, very simple game. This is a game which I wanted to bring up on this podcast because I think it fits everything we talk about 100%. But the game itself is literally pick up a clover and then have a look at your board and go, do I want to put it on this side or do I want to put it at the top and then hope that lower numbers come out?
Yeah.
So in a 4-player game, you do have to wait for everyone else to go for it, but then everyone starts looking for specific numbers. And so every time they don't pick up a number, they chuck it into the communal pile that you can go and grab from. I've explained the whole game to you. This is one of these activities that when I started playing it, I'm like, what's the game here? And I'm like, oh, I get what this game is. This is kind of like, this is a tea game, a Sunday afternoon tea game, if you will. This is a game I can put in front of me and my grandma, and we can just pull a token and go, no, I'm going to put it there. And I can have a chat to you whilst I'm doing it and watching her contemplate and have this back and forth going. And that, it's such a simple premise that it kind of really endears itself to me in a weird way. Low rules overhead. There's no like complexity that's bogging the game down.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I kind of really like it. It's not a game that it's not a game that I'm going to pull out everywhere, but this is a game that I can pull out in front for my kids because it is just quite simply, is this number bigger or lower? Therefore, there's only a couple of valid spaces. Go. Rinse and It's almost like, just sounds bad. It's almost like a poker machine. You're hoping for the feature, and you can see the numbers coming out, and you wait, dunk, dunk, and you're just hoping for the perfect number. And hey, there it is.
You know what it actually sounds like? The way you explained it, it sounds like the old sort of magic squares that used to be in the newspaper. So newspaper used to be these like math puzzles where you'd basically get a square, and you'd be given either a run of numbers that could be. They go from top to bottom.
Are they
or
Sudoku?
Left to right.
You talking about Sudoku ones?
No. These ones were a little bit different.
Yeah.
But they're
similar,
analogous to to
some sort of
Sudoku.
Number puzzle.
And basically numbers had to fit a certain way, and you would be given a list of these numbers, but there were certain rules in how you put the numbers in and such. So it sounds a lot like that. So the actual pattern or the board that you're trying to fill, is that public for everyone to see?
Everyone else can see that.
Okay.
So everyone can see what it is that you're currently holding on for.
Yep.
I will say it hasn't really affected my decision. Maybe it should. I don't know what the distribution of clovers is. I believe it's either 2 or 3 of every number. So not everyone can get every number. But because of that kind of is the challenge as well. And that's probably one of the reasons why I'm like, there is this moment of like, all right, Dame's got a 19, Ralph's got a 18. Maybe I shouldn't be aiming really high or hoping for a high number. Maybe I should lock it in if I can or something like that. Look, it's a really simple game. I don't want to spend too much time on it because I kind of just want to... I wanted to bring it up because I wanted people to hear about this game. And if you get a chance to play it, like we can play it on BGA in less than 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It's a real one of those quick games. Like, I've got nothing to do. What can I do?
Yeah. Is the end game just filling up your board?
Yeah, first person to fill up the board. Get 16 out of 16, you're the winner. So it is has that race element of like... Yeah. It's not push your luck, but when you see someone filling up their board and they're on like 14 and you're on 12 and you're like, oh, I shouldn't put this here, but I'm going to put it there because I just need a hope. It has that kind of feel to
look, it's the same thing when I was playing chicken. I was equal leader. I came third in the end because I bust 2 times in a row because it's like, I only need 2 more points. I can totally get this. 3 foxes.
Yeah.
Balls.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah, so I just wanted to bring that one up because I thought, look, if you're on Board Game Arena, give it a quick look. It almost feels like it's not the same feeling as the game, but like Can't Stop, which you can play in 5 minutes. This one does have a bit of, I'm just looking for something to do for a couple of minutes. I'll play a game with someone, you can get that going. So have a look at that.
Nice.
Anyway, but from simple, like I do actually kind of, the reason why I have T games on my head is because I wanted to have a chat about this one that we have here. So we have here in front of us Jaipur, which is a classic 2-player card game. Damien, take us through what Jaipur is, and then we'll take the listeners through. I was about to call them users, then the listeners. We'll take the listeners through, how the game plays, if we like it, if we don't, etc., etc.
Yeah. So Jaipur is a head-to-head card game by Sebastian Pochon. It is published. My copy is published by. I have to have a look by
Z-Man.
Space Cowboys.
Oh, Space Cowboys.
But it has been published by a bunch of publishers, including Z-Man and
a lot. I was about to say Z-Man because I remember seeing it ages ago.
So it has been republished a ton of times. Reason being, the game's a winner. It's like it's just been around for a while. It's never ever out of print. It's pretty much always available. But anyway, so what is it? Jaipur is
theming is we're spice traders, essentially.
That's right.
The theme.
And what we are trading is anything from spice, cloth, silk, silver, gold, diamonds, and there is one other type.
Red? Rubies?
No, it's the brown. So the brown is cinnamon, I think.
Cocoa or something like that.
Something like that. But anyway, so you have those, or you have camels. Okay, and I'll explain the benefit of. And you start the game off with 5 cards in a common area, so that is the market.
And 5 cards in our hand.
In our hands. Now, the rules of the game are really simple. You can take any card from the market for free.
Single card.
Unless it's a camel, then you have to take all the camels in the market. That is important. I will come back to that.
It's not a bad thing to take all the camels from the market.
No, not at all. Every time things are vacated from the market, they are refilled from the face down stack. And that is actually one of the end game triggers. When you cannot refill the market because there are no more cards in the stack, the round immediately ends. Okay, so no one gets one more turn. No, it just ends.
Comes to that I love the what's he from Shut Up and Sit Down says the bus that comes to a halt and everyone goes go go.
Yeah, that's right.
A grinding halt.
So
Quinn's from Shut Up and Sit Down.
So there is very much this element of where you are regularly counting how many cards left in the deck. Now you can't look at the cards, but you can sort of like shift them sideways and go, oh, all right, there's 5 cards left. Maybe I can do this. Now, as I said, you can either take one card or one good card, a goods card, I should say. Or you can take all the camels. If you would like to take multiple goods cards in one go, you can, but you have to trade for them. You can either trade using camels that you may have in front of you, or you can trade with other cards that you have in your hand. Now, why are you doing that? The various goods, when you eventually trade them in for points, you trade them in for a token. And these tokens have diminishing values. So the earlier you take certain tokens,
more victory points
they're worth more VP. But the longer you wait and you trade in larger groups of same types of goods, yes, maybe you're not getting the highest value token, but you're getting bonus tokens for doing that. So if you trade 3, 4, or 5 of the same goods, you get to take a face down bonus token. Those face down bonus tokens could be really good. Well, they could be worth garbage.
The 5 of a kind tend to be really good. They start at like 6 coins or 6 victory points, and they go up to 10, which is nearly 20% of our scores in each round that we played in this game. Right. It's a lot of points for a bonus token.
Typically, the points we were getting each round were around the 50 mark.
Around the 50 mark, yeah.
So, and the various types of goods, so for instance, diamonds are the most expensive type of goods. If you manage to trade diamonds, first up, you get a 7-point token, which is huge. But diamonds are also rarer. So you might get 1 diamond at the beginning, and then you might not see a diamond for multiple rounds in a row. Now, let's go back to these camels. These camels are my favorite thing in the game. When you take all the camels from the market, you're likely vacating a number of spots.
A lot of spots. You have to take them all.
You have to take them all. So you're likely giving your opponent a fresh market to look at. Okay. However, you've just collected a whole lot of bargaining chips, which your opponent may not have in front of them at that time. So yes, they may get a fresh market to look at, but when it comes back to you, if that market hasn't changed too much, or if you're looking for more flexibility, that's what the camels give you. The final thing is at the end of the game, and it turned out that this actually did matter in a couple of our rounds, you get 5 points if you have the most camels in front of you. Okay, and it was surprising just how two out of the 3 rounds that was
less than 5 points.
Yeah, that was the difference maker. I've explained how to play Jaipur. I play this a ton with my son. I've played it a ton online on the app. The app implementation is also really good. It is a game where you play one round and you go, right, I got it. Let's go again. You could teach this to a 7-year-old and they will get it. You can teach it to an 8-year-old and they will begin beating you at it, as I have experienced multiple times. But it is, as Nee said, very much in the realm of like a tea style game. You can have a tea, you can have a coffee, you can have a chat while you're playing.
Which is what we did when we were playing this game.
Exactly
just before
right.
The podcast.
We were just having a chat and the game and the pace of the game tends to pick up. Once you get a feel for it, it's a lot faster. You could absolutely play this kind of, you've got to spare 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Quick game of Jaipur, go. And the game ends once the first person has won 2 rounds.
Yeah,
that's it.
I was going to say, which is one of my favorite things, is like, yes, we said we had 50 points per person, right? And Damo beat me by like 3 points in the first round. But then he just takes a round token. And then your score is wiped clean and we go again.
That's right.
And it's literally, it's just best of 3. So whoever can win 2. And I love that. I love that the fact that this game is like, I'm gonna get you to count score, but then it's like, don't worry about what the score was. Now that you got the victory, you get the victory token. We're all square now. Like, and so it was like, I never felt in that second round when we started again, I'm like, if only I blah. I was like, no, because now it's like, all right, we're just going again.
Yep.
So the only thing so with your rarer things, as you said, you have to trade in a minimum of 2.
Minimum of 2, yes.
But the other ones, you can trade in one.
Yeah.
You can trade in singles if you really want to. If you just want to go, you know what, I'm going to trade in this one red to grab the token, which I did quite a few times.
You can't. So the
sorry,
red,
not the red. Sorry, not
like,
the red.
Like
sorry, but like the green one.
The green one, yeah.
I'm just gonna take the green and just take the green token, so that I'm going to leave you with all the crap. I don't know what is the best way, because we both kind of played it the same way, which is build up a decent set and wham it down at the appropriate time. But you did also mention that a lot of the fun of this game comes in that moment of market manipulation. And by that I just mean literally timing your camels to the point of going, if I take all the camels right now, I'm about to give you a free market, but you don't have any camels in your hand, so you can't really take much of the market that comes out.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping the thing that I want doesn't come out and you take it. All right, we'll risk it. And then you have these moments of brilliance of like, crap, there it is. Crap, Damien took it. Like every time it happens.
And the final rub with this game is that you have a hand limit of 7 cards.
Yep.
You start with 5 cards. Now, yes, you likely will be trading at the beginning of the game, and you probably won't float too far above 5 cards. But it's amazing how often you get greedy, because you
get to 7, you're like,
you go, oh, hold on, gold's come up. Oh, gold's really good. I'm gonna take a couple of those. Oh, silver's come up. That's still pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna take some silvers. And you go, oh, diamonds have come up. My hand size is 7.
I have to make a choice.
What do? Do I trade? Do I perpetually trade and never actually get any points? Or do I just cut loose and go at a certain point? The game, for just a deck of cards, you get a ton of really interesting decisions, but they're not crippling. And I think I said this when we were playing, is that at no point do I feel like this is absolutely, melting my brain.
No.
But decisions every single time felt really interesting. In fact, there were a couple of times mid-conversation I'd stop talking to just count. And it's amazing how hard it is to count to 7 when you go, crap, I got 7.
Yep.
There's some really good cards out there. Some really good cards in my hand. Crap, I got 7.
Generally, it's always your hubris, right? It's always like, I'm going to have 3 or 4 of the low-value cards in my hand.
Yeah.
I'm going to have those. You know what? Because I'm going to go for 5. And then, and as you said, I'm going to pick a gold, a silver, and a diamond card and keep that. And then you just and then it's the decision of, when do you bank?
Yeah.
You gotta figure this out, because now, as you said, which is, I want that diamond card, but I know Damien's collecting gold cards, so I've got to throw out my silver card as like, and then you throw it out, but then you just bank your cards, and now your hand limit is free again to start collecting cards, and so you've got this real tug and pull, this tug of war going on, because there were moments where I banked yellow. And you went, all right, cool. Now I'm going to trade. I'm going to throw my yellow out there, knowing that I didn't want to restart finding yellows again, right?
Yeah.
And you're right, I didn't. But those kind of cool tactical maneuvers, which is, it's just playing a card. But what it meant at the time that you played it made me go, oh, you son of a... Like, obviously, I mean, great move. But it's again, it's just a very simple card game. Do you want some cards, or do you want to play some cards? And then, again, as you said, it plays like we played the last 2 rounds in 7-8 minutes a round.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was super quick. And the thing is, because you have that 7-card hand limit, you can't sit on cards perpetually. There are some games that you can force other people's hands. You can basically completely control the game because they have such large hand sizes, or in some cases, they have no hand size, and you can stall out the game. You can't do that here because the hand size is so small for what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, you have this clock in the form of a deck that is
shrinking and
constantly diminishing. And you go, well, I really need to get a wriggle on, because Nee's got a stack of points in front of him. I don't, and I need to somehow work out how I'm going to claw this back. Look, brilliant game.
I love the realization very quickly. So in the first round, so this is, I will admit, so my admission is, this is the very first time that I've played the game in person. I've played it a crap ton online.
Yeah.
And I really love it online, but there was something about playing this game in person that just, again, was different. It's especially with the camels. The camels online are just a number of like, hey, you have 8 camels, but what does that mean? But the moment when I had 10 camels in front of me and I had 10 physical cards, I'm like, oh, I can trade all of these for stuff. I'm like, ooh, this is pretty cool. But what you also realize, there's this realization after the first round or so where you're like, you can take 1 card, but it sucks to take only 1 card, when if I take the camels now, oh, I can take the camels and I can prep for a big turn. Okay, I'm going to take the camel. Oh my God, the stuff that I want was just there.
That's right.
And you have these moments of like, you shouldn't just take 1 card, but maybe you will just slowly build up those diamonds rather than giving you the shot at what you're after.
Because there is an element of chicken in the game as well, where you don't want to be the one that leaves your opponent a fresh market.
Yeah.
So you'll go, I'm going to
a handful of camels and a fresh market.
Yeah. I will say that there is one other thing in the game. So there is a second in-game condition. Now, this happens. This is in my experiences, and it's likely because of the way that I play the game. I don't see it as often, but the other way that a round can end is 3 goods tokens. So your tokens are stacked as chips off to the side. When 3 of those stacks diminish, the round also immediately ends as well. That would likely happen if you have a game where you have opponents just basically trading 1 card at a time. That they would basically bank or pay. No, bank is the right word. Bank a card to just take. So they bank 1 card to take 1 point. Or one.
Well, if you think about
chip.
it, the first brown chip is worth 4 victory points.
Yeah, absolutely.
So maybe you just go, stuff it. I'm going to throw 1 brown card down because I got it. I'll take 4 victory points.
Absolutely.
And it's like, and you really could, like, so to give you an idea, diamonds, their highest value card, but highest value token, is 7 victory points. So, maybe it is worth you just going, stuff it. I've got 2 brown cards. This turn I'm going to play 1 and grab 4. Next turn I'll play another 1 and grab 3.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, and then I leave my opponent just to do market stuff because I'm not clearing the market. They have to clear the market to get more stuff, and I'm still scoring victory points. Yes, I've got no bonus points, but if I can do this, and maybe I do the same thing, which is I go, I'm going to play a green card and just take the 5 victory points. And you could realize very quickly, oh crap, I know, like they've just banked 15 victory points before I've even had a chance to do anything.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That's
why I love this game. I really do actually. And like, obviously, if you can't tell, we love this game.
Yeah.
It is. Look, I will admit, from a gateway perspective, it can be a hard sell because it is only a 2-player game. But that is also one of the reasons why it is such a good gateway game, because I can just have a one-on-one session with you. I'm going to devote all my attention to you, and I'm going to teach you this game.
Yeah.
And we're going to play this game together. Yeah. And that does have a lot of sincerity, weight. You know, it really does mean something to people when I'm like, we're just going to play something, me and you. But I do love this game.
Yeah, and again,
so much better in person. So much better.
Oh yeah, it's great. Just being able to drag five camels all the way in front of you. Oh, we'll take 5 camels, thanks. Is just fantastic. I know I also mentioned that this is one that I've played with my kids, and you can absolutely put in front of you, in front of kids, and they will pick it up. Just as equally though, put it in front of like your nan and your pop. They would absolutely love this game. Like, it's, in the end, at its core, it's just a card game. You're just trading resources. It's a simple concept to pick up, and I'm telling you, like the hate will fly after the first round. It'll be great.
Yeah, I would like to just kind of veer, just kind of off topic, just a little bit at the moment to kind of talk. You mentioned grandparents, right? And something which I've noticed recently, and kind of getting a little deep here for the end of the podcast, but I do want to kind of just discuss very quickly with you the idea that, with your grandparents and things like that, too many people I find treat their grandparents as if they weren't ever our age. They're like, oh, they're old, blah, blah. I've come to the realization lately that, so my brother Nick, so my nan, she's just turned 90, about to turn 92 this year. I just turned 92. She had a stroke a few years back. And at the time, a lot of people were very like, oh, we didn't know if she was going to make it and stuff like that. The reason why I tell the story is because my brother Nick, he's 3 years younger than me. He rags on my nan as if she was a 30-year-old, right? He rags on her to no end, very cheeky and stuff, but she loves it.
Yeah.
The reason why I bring this up, which is that you will be surprised if you spend some time with your older folks, your grandparents and things like that, and you say, I'd like to play a game with you. They will be so shocked when you pull out a game like this, and you can have a game whilst I can say, Nan, would you like a tea? And the reason why I call them tea games, Sunday afternoon games, because I can spend some time with you. We're going to have some tea and biscuits, but I'm also going to play a card game with you. They love
yeah.
And if you have not had a chance to do it yet, do it. You will be surprised how much you'll cheer them up. You'll be surprised at how quickly they'll take to these sort of games. They're not hard to learn. They're not hard to play, especially card games. I find people of our grandparents' generation love card games. They grew up in the post World War II era of having a deck of cards and playing bridge, canasta, 500. Take your pick. They've all euchre. They've played it, and I do think we really should be giving them the time of day, like really, and you'll be surprised how quickly you may find a new gaming buddy in one of your grandma or your grandpa.
I will say so. I've taught cockroach poker to sort of older generation, the members of my family. It's amazing how ruthless they are.
Oh God, are they ruthless?
God, they're mean. Jeez,
just keep laying into Damien. Just keep laying in. Why not? Let's do it.
Pretty much. It's a fly. No, it's not. It's a fly. Balls. Anyway, yes, absolutely. Everyone out there, call your grandparents. Be nice to them. Go play a game with them.
Go by Jaipur. Go play with them.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll love it. Okay, so the final thing that we have on our podcast tonight is to give a big shout out and just a clarification to last week's podcast. I did it in the video, but I didn't do it in the audio thing. So we called our game day that's coming up on January 13th of next year, 2024. We called it BGEX, BGEX. However, we've decided to change the name just because we didn't want people getting confused because it's not an expo yet. Maybe
one day.
Maybe in the future we can get it big enough that it will become an expo, but it's not. So we didn't want people getting confused about it being called BGEX. So we've changed the name to BG3D, which is the Board Game Gateways Game Day. So B3GD. There you go. B3DG. There you go. I don't know, whatever it is. It's on the screen right now. The post is back there once again. If you are wanting to come to our game day, you need to go to b3gd2024.com. That's what it is. The Board Game Gateways Game Day.com 2024. It's on the website. It's on the screen right now. We'll get better at saying it because it's kind of a new thing for us. We're super excited to do this.
Yeah.
We are already starting to talk with people in the community. We're talking with designers. We are talking with companies to try and get lucky door prizes, get designers there to show off some new games. We've also got a game library that we're compiling right now.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a lot of volunteers of our friends and family who've already wanting to help. So,
including those who don't know they volunteered yet.
Exactly. And if you're watching this, they're not watching this.
Yeah.
You know they've been volunteered. But we're super excited. So please go to the website that is b3gd2024.com. There you will find a link to our mailing list so you can find out when the tickets go live. We hope to get them live early November. You can also join the mailing list there, and you'll also have links to other things around the place. Look, Damien, thank you so much for coming over here and chatting with just me again. I really did enjoy it. But we are going to sign off once again. Make sure you go to our YouTube channel, so Board Game Gateway into YouTube. Go to our Facebook page. Go check out all the links, Discord, etc., etc. All that stuff. Big congratulations to us. We just passed 100 subscribers on YouTube.
Woo!
Go us, the triple digit. It took us a long time to get there. I didn't know if we were actually going to get there at one point, but we got there, and that's a huge win for us.
It
Well
is,
done.
yeah.
To get there is a big thing, and it's all thanks to you guys who are watching and subscribe. So if you haven't subscribed, think about it right now. If you like the podcast, click follow, leave us a comment, all that stuff. It really does help, and we're really enjoying bringing you this content. Can't wait to bring you more. So until next time, until episode number 47, which is next episode, we'll see you then. My name's Neeber, that's Damien. Bye.
Bye.